CompendiumLD is a tool for constructing visual representations of learning designs using a kind of mind mapping interface. It's built on top of a tool called Compendium, which was conceived and built as a way of building visual representations of discussions or arguments. The idea being that there are classes of problems called wicked problems which have no unique identifiable solution. Things like in the realm of town planning, where you might put a bypass through a town. Each possible route has different pros and cons depending on whether you're a supermarket owner or a house owner or all that sort of thing. So there's no unique solution. So we decided to build on this and apply this tool to constructing learning designs. The idea being is that it promotes the user to really think about the tools they're using, the resources they're using, the groups that, student groups, the amount of tutor support, teacher support and so on, as the user goes through the motions of dragging and dropping the various components of the learning design onto the map. So here's an example of a map that's created. There's some, this is a map about role-playing simulations. So there's some background information about simulations. The actual activities in here, and there's some learning outcomes that this will achieve. There's the mouse. Right. Click in here, you see the map itself, and the idea is that as the user constructs a map like this, it prompts them to reflect on, for each task, for each outcome, is this the best way of linking the tools and the resources and the outcomes to enable the students to reach the desired learning outcomes. Okay, so I think that's enough for me as a bit of background. So can I hand over to the people that were using it to say something? Is that my 5 minutes, or have I whizzed through that quickly?
I think you're fine.
You're doing great, yeah. I mean, if Helen or Helen, yeah, because you were using the tool, right? So what's your...
Yeah, well, I tried to use it to work on what I call the back-of-the-envelope learning design, so a new design. And it was very open because you start with a blank page, so it's a good starting point if you're not really sure. Well, it's either a good starting point if you don't know where you're going, or it's a good starting point if you do know where you're going, I think. It is very open, very unstructured, but it does guide you with some of the stencils to starting to create something that looks as complex as that. But there's no set patterns in it, there's no templates in it, there's no sort of monitoring of the quality in it at all. So it was a useful tool to help you clarify a design.
Any comments or questions from the audience? Okay, Andrew, what was your experience working with these fresh users? And
it's something I and we, the group that developed it, have observed before, that it takes a little bit of time for people to get their head around it. Both the user interface, where because it was developed for mapping conversations in real time, the argumentation, developed to map argumentation in real time. The way that you drag and drop the icons and then connect them is just through a couple of mouse clicks, and you don't actually have to select a link to link the things. And so that is one thing that people take a little bit of time to get into. But I learned some more about that, about the user interface, about maybe we should guide people more initially in that. And also, if you know what you're design is going to be concretely, then there's no real need to use a tool like CompendiumLD. It's when you're unsure, when you can swap in and out tools and think what the ramifications of using different tools, that's the point when you need to use it, rather than there's little point in using it if you're sure that what you're going to implement.
Okay,
is,
right.
yeah.
Thank you.